You're on the record.
All right, good morning, everyone. Today's Tuesday, October 20th, and the time is 9 a.m. Board of Ada County Commissioners is in session for our open business meeting. We have all three commissioners with us today. Also on WebEx with us, we have Elizabeth Mon, John Blake, Richard Beck, Elizabeth Duncan, and Bob McQuaid, and Phil McGrain, and Steve Rutherford, and in the room we have Bob Batista. So welcome, everyone. Any changes to this agenda, Madam Clerk?
No, they're not.
Okay, great then. We're going to go ahead then. And we'll start with new business. We have a correction to the record, and this is a tax cancellation on property roll, 2020 property roll. Is there any discussion necessary before a motion is made on this? Okay.
No, I'm ready to make a motion.
All right, go ahead.
Madam Chair, I move to approve the correction to the record to the September 8th, 2020 agenda.
Need a second?
Second.
All those in favor state aye.
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 Aye, ayes have it. The motion carries. Let's move on. I'll need a motion to remove the unfinished business from the table. Commissioner Lacciando?
I move to remove the unfinished business from the table for consideration.
Need a second?
Second.
Okay, we have motion and a second. All those in favor state aye.
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 Aye, the ayes have it. Motion carries. So under unfinished business, we're going to take up licenses. We have a ratification and a new license. Commissioner Malloy, care to make the motion?
Madam Chair, I move to approve and ratify the new licenses as listed on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Okay, if everyone could mute. Everyone could mute if you're not speaking. Got some background noise. Thank you. All those in favor state aye.
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 Aye, ayes have it, motion carries. Okay, now we'll take up new business. We're going to open a public hearing. We're going to open the public hearing on ordinance number 915, Public Ways and Properties, adding a new chapter, open space and conservation area. All right, is there anyone here to provide testimony on this? Richard, would you care to weigh in on this ordinance?
Sorry, Madam Chair, I missed which ordinance it was.
Oh, this is the open space and conservation area ordinance.
Okay, I'm not familiar with this one. This is one of ours or someone else's,
Yeah.
or
No, it's one of ours. I'm sorry, I thought you had a chance to take a look at it. All right, Commissioner Lacciando, anyone want to provide testimony other than Laura?
Sure, I'll speak to it. We should have had Scott here this morning, but this is an opportunity for Ada County to put into conservation some open space. We've identified a couple areas that we think are appropriate, namely the Red Hawk property and the Barber Pool area. We'll separately have to pass a resolution to specific to those properties. But this is something we've been discussing for, I don't know, it feels like a year. But so I'm excited. I think, Ada County residents really value their open space. I think it's especially important now that we're moving forward with the Barber Dam sale to both put into conservation the Barber Pool area, but also for the community to see that is what is happening.
And for me, this has been really an important first step for us in, preserving open space and public lands and access to public lands, particularly as the larger planned communities have developed out by, where we have Avamore and Hidden Springs, et cetera. We have a piece of property, 100 and some acres. It really lies right in the middle of those larger planned communities. And it's a great wildlife habitat area. It's in the winter. It's an area where the deer like to come and hang out and pass over into the forests, and wild turkeys and quail. And it's just a wonderful piece of property. And I think that's one of the ones we're going to be looking at. So I think that it's really timely as we continue to grow in Ada County and continue to be one of the fastest growing counties in the nation, that we really look at how can we preserve these wonderful open spaces, the ones that we actually have some control over. So I think that's where we're headed. As Commissioner Lacciando mentioned, we've got 2 in mind that would fit really nicely under this ordinance. Commissioner Malloy?
And I just want to confirm, as Commissioner Lacciando stated, that this is not in and of itself changing the status of any public lands at this point. It's simply given us that opportunity by resolution to do that later on.
To do so. That is correct. Mm-hmm. Okay, any further testimony, comments? Nope. All righty, then let's go ahead and close the public hearing. And any deliberations or a motion?
I'm ready to make a motion, Madam Chair. I move to approve ordinance number 915 as listed on the agenda.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor state aye.
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 Aye, the ayes have it, motion carries. All right, let's go ahead and take up licenses. Commissioner Lacciando?
I move to approve and ratify the 1 new license as listed on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor state aye.
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 Aye, the ayes have it, motion carries. Next up, clerk's office. Good morning, Phil. Mr. McGrain, how are you?
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners. I really don't have much new to report other than, as you experienced, the election is well underway. We've got a lot of things going on. We've issued over 85,000, we've had over 85,000 people in Ada County vote so far. So things are well underway. Lots of absentees coming in every single day. So we've been keeping up processing those. In early voting, I'm really happy to report has gone very smoothly so far. We've gotten actually a lot of really positive remarks that people are watching national news. And so as someone I'm involved with, and TEDx Boise said, his wife brought a book. She was ready to go up. And then when she got there, she voted in less than 5 minutes and she didn't know why she had the book with her. And so we're happy to report that it's going very smoothly. We're seeing a lot of traffic at Benjamin and a lot of traffic at Meridian City Hall, particularly. But I will say too, Saturday we had early voting going on, and it was probably one of the most heavily used Saturdays we've ever experienced. A lot of traffic at all 4 sites on Saturday. So things are going well with the election, and we're gearing up. We're a week away, so next Tuesday will be when things really hit into high gear. Because with the statutory change from the special session, that's when we'll start the opening process, and so we'll start. Our call for help. I want to say Steve Rutherford, the department heads, other elected officials have been very helpful in getting us a huge volume of people to come out and help with that process over the course of that week. So we're in a very good position to start things off.
Thank you. And I see, I was watching Channel 7, I guess it was 2 nights ago, and they featured Bessie. So the name stuck. I think, Patrick, you're responsible for that. That was a great article, by the way. Great coverage. Yeah.
Thank you.
We're going to need to put a special plaque on there to commemorate Commissioner Malloy's christening.
Of the cow. Yeah. Anything else from the clerk's office or any questions for Phil? No? Okay, we'll go ahead.
No, I checked with Daisy to make sure that he was truly keeping his sanity. So
yeah. Well, that's questionable. But...
hopefully she covered it up well.
All right, let's go ahead and move on then to Claims Journal. Commissioner Malloy?
Yes, Madam Chair, I move to authorize payment of claims on the Claims Journal dated October 15th, 2020 for fiscal year 2020 and October 16th, 2020 for fiscal year 2021.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor state aye.
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 Aye, the ayes have it, motion carries. Next up, Assessor's Office. Good morning. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Madam Chair and Commissioners. We've got a couple of things going on in the Assessor's Office.
I can imagine.
Just a very brief update on the Board of Tax Appeals. We started out with 51 appeals. 9 have been dismissed. We've settled 6. We have 16 hearings that were pending decisions, and by statute, those have to be out by May 1st. We have 10 hearings scheduled between now and the 18th of November, and 10 hearings are yet to be scheduled. So it's that's going along fairly smoothly. Where we really are having the difficulties, of course, is out at motor vehicles with the implementation of the new software. Lines start forming anywhere from 6:45 in the morning in the remote sites out to from 6:45 to 7:15. People trying to get in. The average wait times have been going down. Right now, we're looking at about anywhere from 47 minutes to 29 minutes, and that's when they get in the door. They could be standing outside for an hour or an hour and a half, and then they get in, but those average wait times have been going down again. That's what's inside. We've got a meeting today with the Alberto Gonzalez at the Transportation Department. I and 4 other assessors are going to meet there at 10 o'clock. We're trying to work out some of the problems, and then we're going to go over and spend the rest of the meeting, probably from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, over at Shindan, so they can see things firsthand. The average transaction time is down about 25%, so things are getting better. To me, it's going to take us at least a couple of weeks to completely work through this. Now, that's the good news. The bad news is this. We have a statute that went into effect, and that is that if you don't have proof of insurance, the Transportation Department sends you a letter saying that your insurance is, your registration is going to be canceled, and because you don't have the insurance. Well, they sent those first batches of letters out last week. So we now have people not only waiting in line to renew their licenses, but to find out about why their insurance, why their registration is being canceled, that they don't have insurance. And they're told to go to the assessor's office on that.
Oh, geez.
What we can do is to send them to the Department of Transportation, because they're the only ones that can reinstate the license once they come in with proof of insurance. So that is just really adding to this state of chaos here. And these are things that we're certainly going to be addressed today. I'm really not happy with the way this whole rollout has happened, but it's too late to be complaining about that. That's a whole different conversation. We're just trying to make things work as well as we possibly can, and get the people in and out as quickly as possible. So, Madam Chairman, Phil, I like your idea about books. I think we should start handing books out at 7:15 in the morning and get their mind off of standing outside.
So, Bob, I have a quick question. So could we help alleviate the proof of insurance by having our people request proof of insurance when they register their vehicle?
Let's see, I don't know if I understood that question. Asking proof of insurance when they register?
Right. So when they register, so just ask them for the proof of insurance there, so that goes in the file, so then they're not getting this letter from ITD later and having to go through this process.
This is all being run out of the Transportation Department, and this is the way it was set up to be. They go through their records at Transportation Department, and then they look at everyone who has a registered vehicle but does not have insurance, and they then send a letter out. We don't know until someone comes out there, because they've got this letter. And it's all being done out at the headquarters there.
Yes, Patrick.
What they should have done is waited at least a month or 6 weeks. Let us work through the challenges of the new software. But now just adding to the lines.
Patrick, did you have something you wanted to add?
Yes, Madam Chair. Bob, if you know, I don't know if you're no. I'm curious how the database, the system knows that they don't have insurance, because when I've registered a vehicle anytime in the past, I've never been asked to provide proof of insurance. Is that something, do you know, do the insurance companies, are they networked into this system? Or how is it that the GEM system is aware that they don't have proof of insurance or insurance?
Madam Chairman, Commissioner Malloy, yes, the Transportation Department has access to the insurance databases, and that's where they're getting the information. They're comparing the registration to the insurance from the Transportation Department. This just went into effect just The bill passed, I believe it was last year, and then the effective date was delayed a little bit while they worked the kinks out, but they're now getting notice that their insurance is going to be canceled. And one thing we're doing out at the at motor vehicles is we have people who manage the lines, and if someone's out there for insurance, we would tell them that, don't waste your time in line here. You need to go down to the transportation department on State Street.
Wow. So Commissioner Lacciando, in a meeting yesterday with, we were on a Compass meeting, and the chief operating officer for ITD, I believe he's new, Dan, made an introduction, and then Commissioner Lacciando posed this dilemma and asked for a report. So Commissioner Lacciando, since that was your question, you want to tell Bob if you received anything back and what you were requesting?
Well, I'll forward it. I think it's nothing you haven't seen, Bob. I think, so the new chief operating officer for ITD came because Compass is looking at long-term transportation planning, but I took the opportunity to ask him and to just share with our mayors, some of whom, like Star, for example, actually has your DMV location in their city hall about what's going on, because they may be getting questions. I don't want to belabor it. I think it's, I'm really disappointed to hear about this insurance issue. I mean, the software thing is, that's one piece and you're working through it, but to layer that on top is really a problem. So I know you'll do your best, so you'll be very collegial and you'll work through it, but, we need the state to treat us like partners, the partners that we are, and we'll just continue having those conversations.
So, Bob, I was wondering if, since a lot of these folks are having to wait outside and the weather's getting cold, do we have accommodations for the elderly or disabled to move them to the front of the line, or a place where they can wait comfortably? Whoops, you're muted. You're muted.
No, that happened. I've not had that discussion with anybody, but I will bring that up today with the supervisors.
That would be great. Thank you.
Yes, and thanks for that suggestion too.
Anything else?
I was out last week talking to people in the lines, and it was getting cold and it was uncomfortable. But all in all, people are just taking it in stride. I spent 2 hours, almost 3 hours at the front counter here and talking and just trying to gauge the sentiment. And people are just kind of, they don't like it, but they're making it as pleasant as they possibly can for us.
Are you serving hot chocolate or something?
No, I'm thinking about donuts, but I just can't afford that.
Yeah. Well, the weather is dipping. We're having that cold front come through, so I really am concerned about folks who would really be challenged to stand outside.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
All right. Thank you. Anything else for Bob? Okay. Thank you, Bob. Appreciate it.
Okay. Goodbye.
Bye. Okay. Tax cancellations. Commissioner Malloy, you want to make the motion? Any questions on those?
Yes, Madam Chair, I move to approve the tax cancellations as listed on the agenda, which include one tax cancellation for 2011, one tax cancellation for 2012, one tax cancellation for 2013, one tax cancellation for 2014, 7 tax cancellations for 2020, and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second. All those in favor state aye.
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 Aye. Nice have it. Motion carries. All right. Next, we have our treasurer, Beth Mon. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair and Commissioners. The primary focus of the Treasurer's Office right now is preparing for the 2020 tax drive. So that includes a variety of things. For example, approving, processing the tax cancellations just approved. We're working closely with the State Tax Commission and the Assessor's Office final values on PTR. By statute, we must mail the bills by the fourth Monday of November. So that's November 23rd. Of course, we want to do it as soon as we can. A lot of contingencies, making sure the data is all valid before we get there. So a lot of balancing. We do offer a variety of payment options. Our intent right now is to open our satellite location at Cloverdale on Monday, November 23rd. Of course, socially distanced. We will also keep that location open on Black Friday. That's historically been a busy day for us, so we will make preparations to have that open. And I'm also pleased to announce that we poured cement for our drop box. This is for us to accept payments in the parking lot to the east of the courthouse. It sounds simple, but it's just offering one more payment option to taxpayers. It's secure, it's free, and a huge shout out to operations for making this possible.
That's great.
That's it from our office right now.
Great, thank you. Good work. Any questions for Beth or comments?
More of a comment. Maybe there's an opportunity to collaborate with Phil. He knows a few things about drop boxes at this point. I think he's got cameras. He's got a fire suppression system, and hopefully people wouldn't try to light tax payments on fire. But you know, it wouldn't hurt to be more secure.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Beth. It's so important to continue to, during these COVID times, challenging times, to continue to give folks safe options to do county business. So really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's go ahead. Commissioner Lachiondo, approval of minutes. Oops. There we go.
Sorry, I'm just, if we're all on at the same time, it gets wonky. So. Madam Chair, I move to approve the minutes as identified on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Aye, nays have it, motion carries. All right, next we have a potential grant application. This is the Center for Tech and Civic Life, the amount of $489,963. And I believe this is coming out of Phil's office. And I'm not sure we have a contract, legal has even seen a contract on this yet, but Phil, you want to go ahead and talk about this one or explain it to the board?
Yeah, Madam Chair, actually, legal has reviewed it and has sent you an advice letter, I think, recommending it, quote, because I made sure I was allowed to quote Acts. As he said, this is the simplest, straightforward grant I've ever seen about how you are to use the money for. It's the center, as you mentioned, the Center for Tech and Civic Life. It's a nonprofit organization focused on election administration, and specifically, they're trying to provide money and support to election administrators throughout the country for this election. This grant, the purpose of the grant, the grant funds must be used exclusively for the public purpose of planning and operationalizing safe and secure election administration in Ada County for the 2020 election. So there are a number of other counties in the state of Idaho who have already received this grant, but this is to try and get us some additional tools, including like PPE and other materials to pull off this election smoothly. And I want to give a shout out to Bob Perkins. Last week I sent a procurement Hail Mary as we're trying to get hand sanitizer and some other materials, that some things we've had issues with along the way. And so Bob's been a huge help, and really in trying to use this grant money under such a short time frame is a big help. So you should have it. Legal has reviewed it. So I recommend signing. This is an agreement for the grant, and we'll receive these funds. We do have to report on how we use these funds, and they have to be tied to the 2020 November election.
So question, so Lorna said we didn't have the contract, is that correct?
No, this is what you're approving. You're approving the agreement, and Axe Sewer was the attorney who signed it and reviewed it.
So I see the proposal, which is a one-page, two-page proposal.
I don't think we have it in our email yet, so we haven't yet seen the advice letter. Unless I'm missing it.
I will chase it down, I guess. I was under the impression that last week, I mean, it's a fairly simple one, but I'll make sure. And it is that same letter I sent you. So I know that the agreement you've all received, you received it from me last week. But that doesn't obviously have the accompanying advice letter. So I don't know how you want to proceed. The time frame is very narrow on this.
So the conditions of the grant are, that was a separate document, October 15th, it looks like. Did you receive that, Commissioner Lachiondo and Malloy? Okay, so you received that one, and then Axe just yesterday came out with an opinion, his opinion letter, and that's the one you have not seen, correct?
Perhaps not. I saw what Phil sent out before as well.
Okay. Do you want me to just go ahead and read
And
this?
I thought I saw,
Well, let me go ahead and read this advice letter, and then we can just have a discussion, and then we don't have to table it if we don't need to, because it's pretty brief. Pursuant to your request, I've reviewed the Tech and Civic Life grant referenced above. The grant is acceptable in form and content and is ready for the board's consideration. I assume you have read the conditions of the grant and can comply with all of them. A couple of conditions to note are that, 1, by January 31st, 2021, your office must submit a report on how the money was spent. Condition number 7 and 2, the grant monies cannot supplant previously appropriated money. Please see that this matter is placed on the BOCC agenda for review and consideration. Note, there's only one signature line, so the BOCC, as part of its motion to approve, will need to authorize the chair to sign on behalf. And a attestation line for the clerk's signature will also need to be added. Should the board sign the grant, please send me a signed copy for our files. So pretty straightforward. So commissioners, care to take this up now, or do you want further information?
No, I just wanted to make sure
Madam
we
Chair,
tick
I'm
that box.
Let's go ahead and start with Commissioner Lachiondo.
Yeah, sorry. So I just wanted to make sure we had ticked that box. Just important to dot all our i's, cross our t's. If we've got the legal review, then I'm good to go.
Okay, Commissioner Malloy.
yeah, based on Phil's description of what it is for and the fact that as long as we inform them of how we spent the money, I'm comfortable with it. I am curious, I don't recall, does it say the amount of the grant?
Uh-huh.
Or Phil, you may know.
Yep, the amount is on here, and it is $489,963. Okay, all right then.
Madam Chair.
Go ahead, Phil.
Yeah, I'll add, we are prepared to make sure we remain in compliance with the grant. I think I'll just say it too, there's also a possibility, just because of the size of the grant and the time frame that we're talking about, we may end up turning some money back to the Center for Tech and Civic Life. So, but that's part of this process, and so we know that going. We'll spend the money we have, and then if we can use this for additional things, we'll make sure to take advantage of it.
Okay, and just for the record, just to state that it's not supplanting anything that we've previously appropriated money for. That's correct? Okay.
Yeah, we're monitoring all that very closely. Same with the CARES Act funding, make sure there is no supplanting.
Okay, then, anyone care to make a motion on this? So we don't table it?
Sure. Madam Chair, I move to approve grant number 2012-AB as listed on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor state aye.
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 Okay, the ayes have it, motion carries. All right, let's go ahead and move on then. Anything else
Thank
on
you.
that? Okay, let's move on to weed and pest, notice of lien. Commissioner Malloy.
Madam Chair, I move to approve 6 notices of lien for weed and pest as listed on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second.
You have a motion and a second. All those in favor state aye.
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 Aye, the ayes have it, motion carries. We still have a lot of background noise. Just make sure you're muted if you're not speaking. Next up, Expo Idaho Cornhole Tournament. Okay, so let's go ahead and start, I think, with the event that's coming up, the one that's coming up this week that was just approved. Their plan was just approved by Central District Health. I think Commissioner Lachiondo was part of that process. So do you guys want to kind of talk us through that event that's coming this week, and then we can talk about these two.
Sure, David's petition, go ahead, I'm sorry, Diana.
Sure. So as you know, we've got the public health order in place that restricts gathering size. And this particular event organizer petitioned the board, put together a really pretty thoughtful plan in place for how he would stagger entry and distance, hand sanitizer, etc. The Board of Health, I'll just tell you, several members kind of came into it going, no way in heck are we doing this. But we're going to test it out and see how it goes. I'll just tell you, against the backdrop of rising cases and kids not in school full time, it's concerning. But I also don't want to punish an event organizer who's trying to do the right thing, especially while we have people out there who are hosting events with no regard to social distancing or masking. Central District Health is actually going to have people review it. We'll be down there to monitor. And then we also have a contractual relationship, obviously, as we'll be discussing today, that if it's not being done well, we can stop it. So I'm comfortable with where we're at. The Central District Health Board approved this event. If it goes well, they may allow additional events like this at Expo, if, pending our approval, of course, as well.
Okay. Any comments on that one, Bob, on how you plan to monitor that as from your director's perspective?
Yeah, we're gonna be on our best behavior out there to help David make this work. This is, we view this as an opportunity for us to slowly creep into this world back in the event business. We appreciate Central District Health's concerns and their willingness to give it a try. And so we're going to be doing everything we can to help this promoter get it open and run and do a good job. We realize we're under scrutiny with them being out there. And I think that even adds more diligence for us to try and make it work.
Okay.
What we have in front of you now is...
Let's hold off 1 second. Commissioner Malloy?
I'm sorry?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just, while Bob is there, I just wanted to know, did we have any traceable events of anything for the dog show in any way?
To my knowledge, Commissioner, we have not had any. But I may be the last one to know, potentially.
Oh, no, they would trace it, contact tracing.
Well, I'll tell you though, one of the challenges we're having at CDH right now is that people are being a lot less forthcoming with during contact tracing. So it's making it a challenge.
Okay, well, if you're comfortable with that and able to monitor that, then we'll just take it a half a day or hour by hour at a time.
That seems to be our business model lately.
I was gonna say day to day, but no, half a day or maybe an hour.
Yes.
And then we can just shut it down if we need to,
Yep,
if there's anything.
I'm gonna be down there the whole time. Everybody on the staff, for the exception of a couple people, are gonna be down there. We're gonna be doing our best because we potentially have the car races that are out in the west parking lot are still going on. That may not happen because Saturday is gonna be raining. And then if we're ready to go on to the next event, we have this cornhole event that was just approved by CDH, and they're gonna be in our draft horse barn. That's the open sidewall barn, and they've segregated that off into 2 sections of 50 people,
Okay.
and everything. So they've had their approval. So we will be full blown, kind of somewhat normal, but we will be doing everything we can to make these events succeed.
Right, and cornhole playing is certainly something you can self-distance.
Yes, and you're
social
outside, and
distance.
it's in an open air building. So
Perfect, okay, great. Any problems with the cornhole tournament or questions? Okay.
No, I think the big question that I had, Madam Chair, that I posed to the home show organizer, and I think it would be the same for the organizer, Bob, for cornhole. I mean, I love cornhole too. I don't want your staff or the need for law enforcement certainly to be in the position of this being the social distancing police. It really has to be on that organizer. And they need to be communicating to their participants that if people don't follow the rules, it jeopardizes the whole event.
Yeah.
So that's my expectation. I don't want to put your staff in that position. It's those organizers who have to do the right thing.
They need to self-police.
yep. we completely understand that, but as I go about, you manage by example. So if everybody else is doing it on our staff and everything, we kind of have that expectation that people will follow suit. So that's where we're at.
All right, HVAC seminar, how many folks are you
That's
intending?
50 people that they're gonna be socially distancing in the premium building. And
That's an educational seminar.
that's in an
So that
education
should be-
seminar.
yeah.
They'll each have their own little desk and everything, so.
Okay. Great, okay. Any questions for Bob? Let's go ahead and take up a motion then. Commissioner Lachiondo?
Madam Chair, I move to approve the 2 interim event agreements as listed on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Second?
We have a motion, a second. All those in favor state aye.
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 Aye, the ayes have it. Motion carries. Next up, Parks and Waterways. Looks like we have two weddings and a holiday party, and these are all set for 2021. So we're hopeful that in 2021, Scott can have these events, host these events out at Barber Park. So with that, being that we do have the caveat on there, the COVID addendum, let's go ahead and take up a motion to approve these. Commissioner Malloy?
Madam Chair, I move to approve the 3 Barber Park of Education and Event Center agreements as listed on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Okay,
Second.
we have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor state aye.
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 Aye, the ayes have it. Motion carries. Next up, agreements. We have 15. Any agreements that need discussion by board members? No, we're good? Okay, Commissioner.
Madam Chair, I just had a question on 13784-1-20. This is a renewal agreement, and this is for the design of the new coroner facility. Is that what this is, or for remodel of the existing facility?
No, this is for the design.
Okay. New design. Okay.
Yep. Okay, care to make the motion, Commissioner
And
Lachiondo?
it's a renewal, I'm assuming, because of the. I wanted to confirm. I'm assuming it's a renewal because of the rollover into the new fiscal year.
That's
Is
correct.
that? Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Lachiondo, you ready to make a motion? Oh, Commissioner Lachiondo, you had a note that you wanted to discuss agreement 14041. And that's memorandum MOU between Ada County and Idaho Department of Juvenile Corrections on the community-based alternative services program and the substance use disorder program. Are you okay?
That's less concern. It's more that I just want to, for my own edification, I want to connect with Dawn to better understand it. As I'm being asked I'm on the behavioral health board. I'm being asked to join a new subgroup for the state behavioral health council. So it's me just trying to be more educated.
Okay.
So it's not a concern about it.
Just paying attention to your notes. Annie's really good at that. All right, let's go ahead then, take up a motion.
Okay, Madam Chair, I move to approve the 15 agreements as listed on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the appropriate documents on behalf of the board.
Second?
We have a motion, a second. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Ayes, ayes have it,
Aye.
motion carries. All right, any further discussion in OBM? Before we convene, and we're going to go ahead then, and we'll go into recess, and we'll reconvene as Emergency Medical Services District Board. All right, thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful
Are we
day.
staying on
Good morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, October 20th, 2020. So 2020. I'm not sure what that means, but something really good is going to happen. The time is 9:40 a.m. and the Board of Ada County Commissioners is in session for our Emergency Medical Services District meeting. We have all three commissioners with us. Also on WebEx, we have Steve Rutherford and we have John Blake. Welcome, John. Morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
So we're going to go ahead and start with any changes to this agenda, Madam Clerk?
No, there are not.
Okay, let's go ahead and move to new business. Commissioner Malloy, would you like to make a motion on the Claims Journal?
Yes, Madam Chair, I move to authorize payments of claims as listed on the Claims Journal dated October 15, 2020 for fiscal year 2020 and October 16, 2020 for fiscal year 2021 regarding EMS expenditures.
Okay,
Second.
we have a motion and a second. All those in favor state aye.
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 Aye, ayes have it. Motion carries. We're getting a lot of feedback. Yikes. Okay, approval of minutes. Commissioner Malloy, I'm going to go with you. You're the safe bet. And you're wearing a tie.
Yeah. Madam Chair, I move to approve the minutes as identified on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Diana, you can use sign language and just hold up too. And she seconds it. All those in favor state aye. Shake your head. All right, ayes have it. Motion carries. All right. Any general discussion? Anything that you'd like to report this morning to the board? John?
I don't have anything in particular. We're doing fairly well. We had a recent uptick in COVID cases out of our staff, and that is continuing to be one of our concerns that we're monitoring. But we're continuing to staff ambulances fully. We've not remotely gotten to the idea of browning out ambulances, and so the operations are going well. The staff is certainly feeling some of these shortages, so we're working through those issues, but doing well for now.
Okay. Any questions or comments?
I do, but can you hear me or am I really?
You're really, yeah. All right.
I'd be happy to answer questions
We can give you a call.
offline too.
Yeah. Okay, great. All right.
And,
Well,
and just
go ahead,
as an FYI check point to Luke or whoever, Madam Chair, the video for me is even dropping out. Like right now, I don't have video on Diana at all. The conference room just dropped out on me. So I don't know if that's a result of my internet connection or just the combined load on WebEx or what it is. So
No,
just
Luke's
'cause of
saying that's your
technical feedback.
internet connection. We're fine on the load here. So we'll muddle
Okay.
through today. Yeah. Yeah. Well, let us know if you guys continue to lose folks and they have to quarantine. If we can do things better, faster, more effective, efficient with testing or whatever we need to do. The board's here to support your team.
Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet. All right, let's go ahead then, and we'll go into recess if there's no further discussion. Thanks, everyone. Have a great morning, John.
Thank you. You too.